Handwritten notes can do much more for you than just help you remembering stuff. In this video, we'll explore why and how they help and how you can implement handwritten notes to benefit from them. Hey friends, I'm Stefan, welcome back to the channel. On this channel we'll discover everything, stuff I love, gadgets I use and everything that makes my life easier. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. I first want to start and talk about what are the general benefits of using handwritten notes versus other notes. For me, one of the biggest benefits of using handwritten notes are actually that you're less distracted compared to using your phone or your computer. Imagine it like this. If you're using your phone, taking notes, or your iPad, and a notification comes in, you're instantly taken out of your note-taking and thinking thought process, and you're in this notification. And if you're on your computer, even worse, an email comes in or whatever, somebody writes you a message, you're out. You start from scratch and have to re-enter your train of thought to come back to what you were actually doing. Also, especially compared to digital notes, handwritten notes allow you to have some sort of visual freeform. Think of that like this. You have a blank canvas and you can draw anything with your pen that you imagine. You can do tables, you can do graphs, you can do little sketches, or just write things down and connect them via little lines. You can place them on this blank canvas however you like, and you're not limited to like the text inbox field of your OneNote or your email or just text, basically. And the last benefit of using handwritten notes that's just very broad and why they're cool is the haptic feedback of using pen and paper. How the pen goes over the paper, it's just a little bit different than writing or even using your Apple Pencil on your tablet that just glides smoothly over it. But what are the big benefits? We have three broad categories that we'll discuss. Handwritten notes help you learn, help you solve, and help you reflect. Let's start with the learning part. There's a lot of evidence that handwritten notes improve your comprehension when learning and the learning in general and in retrieving this knowledge. This is also underlined that there are studies found that handwriting notes especially improves your recall and memory of all the things you have written down compared to other note-taking styles, which makes it especially powerful if you want to remember short bits. They might fall short a little bit if you have vast amounts of information that you start handwriting down, because digital note-taking is faster, to be honest, but if you want to retain as much information as you can, handwritten notes will help you with that. It was also found that taking handwritten notes improves your conceptual understanding of the thing you are jotting down. So especially when you think about difficult topics where you just need an overview first and you don't have a graphic to go from on your digital device, it might be beneficial to start with a handwritten note as like a map, which you start to fill out, and with that map help you to get a better understanding of the actual concept that you try to learn. So how can you implement that? First, start using handwritten notes at all. This already is a big improvement. Try taking your notes, especially when learning new stuff, and incorporate more than just the text. Try to incorporate lines, graphs, just some sketches, tables, whatever you can find. Try to incorporate this to get more stimulation and also visual input than just the text input that you would get otherwise. Now let's get over to the second big benefit, and the second big benefit is to solve, or more specifically to problem solve. It was found that handwriting notes when trying to problem solve stuff not only increases your accuracy when problem solving, but also increases the creativity that your solution to that problem might incur. This also carries over if you have a collaborative approach in problem solving. For example, imagine you're in a room and you have a big whiteboard. And on that whiteboard, you grab a pen and start jotting down notes, organizing stuff, maybe draw a few lines, separating things. These are handwritten notes, right? So this demonstrates how a collaborative approach also can help you just dive more into one topic compared to having this on a digital scale and use like Draw.io or something, which could work in theory, but it feels completely different than using these handwritten notes to dive deep into a topic. There were also studies that found that using handwritten note increases your visual and distributed working memory when trying to problem solve. This is a fairly more in-depth topic, so I'm not bothering trying to explain you what a big study has found, but I'll try to link it down. So just take a look if you're more interested in that one. My interpretation of that one is that at some point when you try to juggle stuff in your head, you get a little bit of overloaded with information that you try to keep up in one train of thought. So it might help to jot down some little notes to come back to just try to offload stuff while you think with the least friction way of doing so. And this would be the pen and paper approach to help you problem solve what you're trying to solve. If you want to problem solve and use handwritten notes for this, my suggestion would be to start with a blank canvas. This can be just a usual page of printer paper, this could be a notebook, this could be a whiteboard, anything works as long as you have a blank, white, big canvas to start on. The bigger the better, basically. Start dissecting the problem, clustering, doing a mind map. I'm a big fan of mind maps to get a little bit on the ground and see which works. Once you have an approach to actually go further with problem solving, you can then go ahead and transition to whatever medium fits best for the problem at hand. This could be digital, of course. This could stay handwritten. You decide basically whatever works for you, but do the start handwritten. Our third pillar is the reflection. What do we mean with reflect? So for me, reflect is to look back on something and try to work something out. One of the big benefits, not only of handwritten notes, but also of journaling, one of the first recommendations, that it has a therapeutic effect. And this is so, handwriting has a therapeutic effect, journaling has a therapeutic effect, and if you combine it, the effect might get even bigger. But these are separate studies, so it might not be multiplicative or anything, but try to use both and you will see improvements. There's also findings that visual journaling, this could also be just taking photos and putting them in a picture or a book, for example, helps to reduce stress. So this goes even hand in hand with the journaling and handwritten journaling we have before that. So the more you try to incorporate in your journaling, handwriting, taking physical pictures and gluing them in, this will improve your overall well-being. And last but not least, you can also just use it as a diary and a tool to reflect. So go ahead and write in what your day was. You can just do free-form writing. You can have structured diaries that are out there to buy, for example, that ask you 3 questions at the end of your day in order to have some sort of outline what to write and talk about. And you can also just have topics that are regular guests in your diary. For example, let's say you want to eat healthier. You could have this topic coming up now and again and reflect how healthy you've eaten in the last, let's say, week or 2, for example. And based on that, you can think about what adjustments you could make to actually improve of this further on. I actually do this myself in my traveler's notebook, and I try to have like sprints in my life from the Agile sprint, where each 2 weeks I try to set myself small goals that I try to hit. Not being hard with myself, not beating myself up if I don't hit every goal, but way more thinking about why couldn't I reach that specific goal and what can I change in order to reach it maybe in the next 2 weeks. I can do a whole video about this if you're interested, just let me know and I'll post one of these in the next couple of weeks. So, how do you implement journaling? Well, there are so many different angles to start on. One of my recommendations would be to start with something really easy that you actually don't do in the evening but in the morning, and these are called morning pages. Morning pages, you can Google those, there's a lot of hits if you Google this, have the benefits of being very easy to implement and help you start your day right. What you basically do is you get yourself some sort of paper, of course, but in the end, just for the journaling part, this would also work digital, but try using paper. And from there on, you just write down your stream of thought, basically. These don't have to be structured, you don't have to ask or answer any questions, you just write whatever comes to your mind and let your mind flow a little bit. Do this for a page, or I think the recommendations are 3 to 5 pages, but start small. Don't get too big, all of nothing. and just write down whatever comes to your mind, and you will notice after a few minutes that there is not that much more thought that comes to your mind, and just stop there. Don't beat yourself up. Just write until you don't have anything to write about and come back tomorrow. And maybe there are some thoughts that you might want to follow up then in that day. So to summarize, there are a lot of benefits when coming to handwriting notes. They help you learn new stuff, they help you tackle problems on different angles and actually help you think with mind maps and such. And they also help you reflect on your day, on your week, on specific tasks or situations, where they help you actually guide your thinking into specific realms. I mainly use my handwritten notes for the reflection part and for problem solving. I love using just the blank double page in my notebook, jotting down a mind map first, extracting all the relevant information and having those on another double page spread, and from there on just deriving whatever is the solution to the problem that I have. Even if it doesn't solve my problem just by doing this mind map, it helps to just get a starting point from where to go next. So what are you using your notebooks for? Do you do handwritten notes? Let me know in the comments. If you want to know what are the difference between all the handwritten notes, consider watching this video here where I'll give you a comparison between handwritten notes, digital notes and the iPad. If you like this video, give it a subscribe and a like, maybe even drop a comment, and I'll see you back next week. Thank you!